And we are live. It is a good day to be here speaking to you all. I want to say thank you very much for joining us this wonderful time. Wherever it is that you are joining in from, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever it is from the globe that you are joining us. And it's a delight to have you as we open this hackathon officially. Drum roll, please. So my excitement knows no bounds. This has been a long time in the making, and it's a delight to be here doing this. And before we go into the session, we have an agenda that we are going to go through, and then we are going to welcome you to this session. And this is the point where I hand it over to Mark, our CEO here at Fuse, who is going to be talking to us about Fuse and also about this hackathon and our expectations out of it. It's a delight to have you here, Mark. Over to you.
Thank you, Manuel. So first of all, it's not really the first hackathon, it's the first big one. We did small ones to kind of test it. Why it took us so long? Because we really wanted to make sure that we're not doing a hackathon for, just build on a blockchain. We really wanted to build a hackathon where we onboard businesses to our infrastructure. And I think 6 months ago, when we launched Fusebox, it was the perfect chance. We did a small hackathon in Poland in February, March. And we always plan to do a big one right after our airdrop. And here we are. So welcome. And I'm excited about this. And this would be the first of many.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that very brief welcome, Mark. Really appreciate you for it. So before we go into the rest of the agenda to talk about the things that we have for developers, I think it would be very helpful for you to talk to us a bit more about upcoming updates that we have for Fuse, where we are at right now, and what we are looking at in terms of the future.
So first of all, we're about to launch Fuse on CDK chain. So Fuse is about to go ZK, full ZK. The plan is to be a ZK rollup by the end of the year, hopefully. ZK rollups are very popular as of now. We believe that ZK will change how we use blockchains and enable a lot more features. So this hackathon is really a chance to use Fusebox. The same way it will work on top of ZK VM. The existing network, we're about to announce some exciting updates about it in preparation of the migration to ZK VM. We're going to change our tokenomics to accommodate the new network. We're going to increase the maximum staking the maximum staking limit. So people can use liquid staking on Fuse with double the TVL. So we can increase our TVL for Fuse stakers, which is currently one of the most, I would say, used organic, we have the most organic traction on this product on liquid staking for Fuse. So we're going to double the TVL there. We're going to push out a new exciting update about Vault token soon. So there's a series of updates, the culmination of which is really the hackathon. I think after we kind of finalize this phase, the next phase would be a hackathon using ZKVM. So that's basically a big milestone we're doing. Expect this week to see a lot of things new on our governance forum, and some of them require community participation and vote. So that's the updates for now.
Thank you very much, Mark. And remember, you heard it here first, straight from the CEO himself. And this underscores why you should participate in this hackathon, because not just because of engaging for the prizes itself, for the very fact that Fuse is here to support you along the way, giving the updates that are coming, and for you to participate in all of that. So we are just going to jump right into the rest of the sessions that we have to talk to you in this opening ceremony. And the first among that, it's the hackathon tracks that we have currently running. And in the light of that, I am going to remind you that the hackathon is actually being hosted on Dora Hacks. Dora Hacks is our partner for this hackathon, and you can simply go to their website where you find that we have already opened the hackathon. This is the hackathon page that I'm currently sharing with you right now. So this
Mhm.
is our opening ceremony, and the hack days are going to be from July 15th to August 4th. So that means for the next 3 weeks, we are going to have hack days, and sandwich in between the hack days are going to be office hours, which we are going to be having one every week for 3 Fridays on the 19th up until the 2nd, right? So the office hours are there for us to provide you direct support when you are building. If you run into any issues, any bugs, or you need any feedback, you have direct access to the team, and then we'll be able to give you that support along the way. So, having said that, the categories that we have open for this hackathon are basically three: DeFi, mobile, and OpenTrack. Just to
Mhm.
explain to developers out there so that you are very certain when you are envisaging your ideas and you are sure that you are building according to what we are asking for. This hackathon is based upon Fusebox, as Mark mentioned earlier. Fusebox is basically an SDK that enables developers to build on top of Fuse. That means for native Web2 developers, you are able to build without having to learn any Web3 technologies. You do not have to learn Solidity. You do not even have to use any other libraries or tools, but basically just using Fusebox enables you build full functional applications that run on top of Fuse. And
Can
Fusebox,
I maybe mention one thing maybe I missed in my intro,
awesome. Please go ahead, Mark.
that yes, that Fuse is basically is meant for non-investors. So if you're consumer facing, if you want to reach customers faster, especially on mobile and especially not for investors, then Fuse is the right, I think, stack to start from if you want to build anything that has to do with payments, loyalty, mainstream DeFi usage, mobile apps, anything that has to do with P2P payments or B2B payments. We really thought about a different type of usage for a blockchain. So the block space on the Fuse chain is consumed through the Fuse box. So basically, you don't need your customers to have gas. I think that's the highlight here, that it's all powered by account abstraction, ERC-4337. Who familiar with this knows that it's really hard to kind of take the contract and work only, with the contract and really understand how it works and plug it into the right network and use the right subgraphs. We kind of try to bundle it all under one middleware we call Fusebox. The fact that you have a lot of like moving parts behind the scenes, we try to kind of make it easier, so you don't need to do all the heavy lifting, and that's it. I'll pause here. Hope it was it added a little bit context.
Awesome. Yeah, it sure did, Mark. And just to segue into the prices that we are offering and the build ideas. Like Mark said,
Mhm.
Fusebox is basically a middleware that enables you to build on top of Fuse without having the need to learn any other core Web3 technologies. So that means for this particular hackathon, we are welcoming developers across mobile and web, and that is Web2 developers. So you do not have to learn any extra thing for you to be able to build. So come in with your basic knowledge of JavaScript, your ability to build front-end apps using Next.js or React.js, whatever you so decide, and then your ability to use Flutter and you plug into our SDK, and then you'll be able to build full applications of the blockchain. I think that's pretty interesting. So we
Mhm.
have a couple of build ideas that we have outlined that developers can latch on and use this as a base platform for which they can build at, right? So a couple of them here, such as building an escrow service, you can achieve this using our Flutter Web SDK, building service applications, liquidity pool management dashboards, and every other dashboards that you can think about, DAOs, staking protocols, right? So all of this is just to underscore the very fact that the limit to which you can build applications using Fusebox does not exist. So in a bit, I'm going to walk you through some of our critical examples on our documentations that you can rely upon and use that as a starting block. Please note that we are here to provide you support through the entire process, which is why we're having the office hours. And then regarding the price structure, we are offering a $10,000 price pool for this hackathon. The price distribution is spread well enough to incentivize you as a developer to get to participate in this hackathon, right? We are offering prizes across each of the three different categories that we had already listed. We're offering prizes across DeFi, mobile, the open track, and also for the best user interface implementations, right?
Mhm.
For our winners, would have one for each of these categories. And then for the runner-up, we have two teams for each of these categories. So this extends the prize pool and makes it robust enough for everyone to get a share of it. So moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is our support structure that we have available for you. And then we are going to start with the documentation and what you can find in the documentation. So the documentation is available at docs.fuse.io. And when you land upon docs.fuse.io, it's a very easy project to navigate, right? Straight down from the navigation menu at the top bar, you can easily find Fusebox there. So again, just to remind you, Fusebox is the middleware that you can leverage upon to build on top of the Fuse blockchain. So we have our SDK references here, where you would enter and you'll find a list of all the methods available for building on top of Fuse, right? Methods that cover smart contracts wallet creation, because like we mentioned, we are account abstraction enabled out of the box using Fusebox. Being able to manage transaction, sending tokens, receiving tokens, transferring NFT, and swapping tokens, and also being able to do batch transfers, data services, and then being able to carry out trading functionalities. So the SDK is available on npm.js and it's quite easy to install. It is just the one SDK available on web, and also for Flutter, just the one that's public package. So upon installation of the SDK, you can come to the docs and you will easily find code examples for creating smart contract accounts, examples for sending transactions being powered by a gasless experience. Again, we are account abstraction enabled out of the box. NFT transfers and token swaps. So these are just some of the examples that are available to you. And with just this particular SDK method shared, you can already begin to have that machinery working in your mind about how you can simply build out full-fledged applications where your users can come create accounts, own tokens, transfer tokens, and be able to carry out trading functionalities. Through the course of the hackathon, we'll be providing support to you via dedicated channels on our Telegram and also via our Discord channels. When you come to the Dora Hacks website, you would find our support channels on there. So I encourage you again, go through our Twitter thread. You would find the link to the Dora Hacks website, sign up for the hackathon, register, and go through the onboarding guide where you'll be able to create an API key for using Fusebox. The hackathon again is going to be open for 3 weeks. We are not closing registration, and submissions can come in at any time. So before
Manuel, one small thing quickly. There's a QR code. Can we update it because it's linking to the wrong place? I think it's Meridian instead of the console for the docs.
Oh, okay, that is
on the left top corner. I think it's not supposed to be the right link. Just let's update it in a second. If
okay.
people scanned it, they need to rescan it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for pointing that, Mark. So I was about to bring it back to you before going on to talk about the post-hackathon support. Regarding particular specification for what we expect for projects that want to build on this hackathon. You did mention investor use cases and business use cases earlier. I just want you to highlight what other use cases would be best for developers who want to build out using Fusebox.
So I think up until a year ago, you couldn't really build a lot of the stuff on chain. You had to build it centralized. So you kind of had two options. You want to do something complicated, it needs to be centralized. You want to do something simple, you can use Ethereum. But I think up until a year ago, it was hard to imagine how you do everything on chain because you kind of need to imagine every entity as a contract. And that's just not how crypto works. To that day, most accounts on Ethereum are EOAs, are not contracts. So assuming that everything is a contract, the businesses are a contract, the users are a contract, the operators are a contract, everything in your use case can be defined by a contract, then the business logic can be fully on chain, fully trustless. You don't need licensing. It's faster time to market. You can leverage things like USDC. So let's say I want to build, I don't know, a non-custodial bank. You can actually build it without having any custody. It was up until a year ago, before ERC 4337, it was really difficult to build that without some centralization. Today, you can use the Fusebox to go to the console. I can share my screen 1 second. Create an account. So you need to click on build and then create your project. And you will have a place where you can create an operator account. And that's basically deploying a contract for the operator, which you can, deposit money into it and then start doing transactions which are gasless, where every user on your app or every user in your DApp or every user that you want to onboard can use will be deployed a contract, but the gas will be covered by the operator account. So you have a way to do gasless transactions and build that logic in a way that is not only more scalable, it's also more cross-chain, I would say chain agnostic, so you can really integrate in the future to any blockchain. So we're not doing anything custom here, we're using public standards. So I hope that helps understand what it means. So it's not like we don't deal with investor use cases like DeFi or like people can invest in Bitcoin on top of Fuse, but they usually target non-investors that want to invest in Bitcoin or non-investors that are looking to get stable dollar yield or use treasury bills yield or DeFi yield, or just invest in a basket of stable coin or basket of governance tokens, or really think about how crypto investment will work with mainstream audiences. So a bit like, I would say, a mainstream adoption, how it will look like. So I'll stop here.
Thank you so much for that feedback, Mark. And this is a good opportunity to talk about what to expect post hackathon. Again, just to be very certain, the Fuse ecosystem is here to provide grants for possible projects that meet the criteria after making submissions for this hackathon. So for the ecosystem, as against just applying and trying to get into the ecosystem with an MVP, this is a good opportunity for you to showcase that MVP to the team, and then they will be able to judge it and then see if it fits the criteria. So for the ecosystem, we actually have grants that begin at 10K and are willing to offer these to teams that have not just built out their projects, but also make the requirements for meeting the needs to access that grant. So, and aside that, we have a very, very engaged developer team that would not just support you with technical issues, but be a part of your building journey to make sure that whatsoever ideas that you conceptualize during the course of this hackathon, you are able to build it out to the very end, and also it becomes a real world use case project. So we are not just looking for projects that will come just for the price benefits. Of course, all developers are welcome, but it is also our hope that you become a part of the bigger Fuse family by joining our ecosystem. And that said, aside from technical support, we are also available to provide market support for projects that build out, win prizes, and get to join the ecosystem and be a part of the ecosystem. So what does that mean? Once you're a part of the Fuse family, we are able to help you reach out to all to users on our chain and then get them to encourage them to come use your project. So you are not just assessing the tools and the technology, but you're also gaining direct access to the team and being a part of the larger family. So thank you very much for being here. This is day one of 21 days. It is our hope that you go on to Dora Hacks using the link that was shared and participate in this hackathon. But before we close this out, I want to hand it over again back to Mark for any more words that he has for the hackers that will be participating in this hackathon.
Yeah, so thank you, Manuel. The last thing I have to say is that come and build on our sandbox. We basically want Fuse to be a sandbox for consumer payments, business and consumer payments. I feel like fiat on chain or building, digital cash is the original vision that Satoshi had. As an idea, I think it worked well. As an implementation, I think it's in the process. And we want to be somewhere between, I would say, Ethereum and Visa. We want to find a good place in the middle between those two extremes. We don't want to be more decentralized than Ethereum. We do want to be more decentralized than Visa. We want to offer businesses, or the long tail of businesses, gig economy, sharing economy, anything that has to do with small and medium businesses, which are the biggest employer in every economy, and really have a disadvantage when it comes to technology. And I think crypto and Web3 payments can level the playing field. So we want to invite people to play in our sandbox for consumer payments. And we can showcase your project and give it a much better, I would say, exposure than other ecosystems. And because of our partnership with pretty much anything that has to do with consumer payments in crypto, so we have 4 on-ramps. We work with Polygon, the biggest L2. We work with USDC, USDT. I don't think we have anything missing. We're doing this hackathon, so you can give us some feedback, and we plan to do more and more. So stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Mark. And the recording of this session will be available on YouTube for those that want to watch it again. And I want to say a special thank you for everyone that is joining us here on Twitter and then watching this as well. So to get started for this hackathon, kindly click the link in the chat on Twitter, in the thread on Twitter, and then sign up for the hackathon on Dora Hacks. So as part of your sign up process, there's also an onboarding form that you'd have to fill. As form, you'd have to get onboarded as on Fusebox. Kindly use the link, go to Fusebox, create an operator account, get an API key that you'd have to use for your transactions when using Fusebox. The next section that we are going to be having will be the office hours on Friday. It will be on Discord. I look forward to hosting you in there. Do kindly come join us. If you have any issues, any queries, please bring them in. As Mark mentioned, part of the support that we have for you here at Fuse is that we are constantly available. We do not just create this tool and put it out there for people to use without giving them any guidance. No, we create these tools for people to become engaged as part of the larger Fuse ecosystem, as part of the Fuse family. So come build with us, and you are guaranteed to have that direct support from the team that actually built out the tools. So it will be a delight to have you. It will be a pleasure. Again, click the link, register on Dora Hacks, visit the documentation. If you have any issues, join us on Discord. You can message any of the member of the team. We are there round the clock. Round the clock, actually, because we are distributed across different time zones. So you would always have somebody attending to you if you're in the PST time zone, if you're in the UTC time zone, or if you're in the IST time zones. So developers from across the world, North America, Europe, Latin America, Africa, India, Australia, wherever you are, come build with us. Thank you very much for this session. Look forward to seeing you on Discord and on Telegram. Any parting words, Mark?
No, thank you, Manuel. I think I said what I wanted, and excited and looking forward to talk with you all and see the exciting things you're building from our smaller hackathon we did in Poland. I'm expecting big things.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So signing out with a drum roll. Looking forward to seeing what you guys build, and talk again on Friday. Bye, everyone. Cheers.